Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Hello, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Eric.
And this is 6 Degrees of Schwarzenegger, the podcast where we take a long, hard look at some of our favorite action movies from the era of Arnold.
Schwarzenegger is the icon of the genre, and we're taking a deep dive into some of these 80s and 90s cult action movies and breaking them all the way down. I can't do a Schwarzenegger. I can't do Schwarzenegger saying
You were
Schwarzenegger.
pretty good last time.
No, I mean I can do Arnold. Right? No, I'm
Yeah.
not. Well, we're episode 5. I'm not going to try to do an Arnold impersonation anymore. But I can't do Schwarzenegger. I can't say his own name in his own caricatured accent.
Did Arnold do movies with these guys?
No,
Maybe the various Expendables,
maybe the Expendables, but I mean not in his
but
prime.
not like in the
definitely didn't in his
their
prime.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's a bummer.
but it would have been.
Van Damme was the original Predator.
Yes, I know.
But
yeah.
they changed their minds pretty quick on that. So he would have had a movie with Arnold, kinda, sorta,
but
with peak Arnold.
Yeah, but yeah, no. In their prime, he never did a movie with them.
Yeah.
Now, he, obviously, the Expendables is a big old cash grab, and
Yeah, that's like basically a cameo.
Yeah.
For at least for Arnold, it's a cameo.
I mean, this is a whole other conversation. I remember watching that first movie and thinking it was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
I thought it was like fine, but it was
Yeah.
also clearly like it's made for nostalgia reasons.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So anyway,
But yeah.
so here we are. We're back with the
Yeah.
last episode. We finally made it.
It's the ultimate episode.
Thank you. Yeah, ultimate episode.
of
Yes.
our series on Universal Soldier.
Thanks for sticking with us. on
Absolutely,
it.
guys. Thanks for listening. Shout out to the Last of the Action Heroes podcast network. If you're listening to us on our own feed, check out the podcast network because there is cool stuff happening over there.
Absolutely.
All sorts of like Stallone content
Yeah. The
and
JCVD.
various other things. Yeah. There's our guy Ryan is doing he's working his way through the Michael Mann filmography.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know if that's showing up on the podcast network or not because it's not necessarily all action flicks. But he's talking about like Heat and Last of the Mohicans and all that awesome Michael Mann flicks. I love Michael Mann stuff, so that's been awesome content. But yeah, we're doing our own thing though.
Yeah, we're
here to
keep
talk
trucking.
about one of my favorite Friday night blockbuster rentals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
This one was on fucking heavy rotation on the sleepovers.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we were doing the all night movie marathons. It's well, we got to get Universal Soldier. I'm trying to think what else would have been maybe Under Siege because it had the boobies.
Under Siege, yeah, you gotta have the boobies. Yeah.
What else was hot at that time? Maybe
92. I mean,
maybe
Terminator
Big
2
Trouble in Little
definitely
China
for me.
we liked.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else was good. Like various Rambo flicks
Rambo
or Tango and Cash.
Tango and Cash was a big one for me. Actually, I'm super sad that you guys before me did take because I fucking
That's one of my
love
favorites.
Tango and Cash.
That's such a weird
It's
movie.
such a weird movie. I love Kurt Russell. It's just I love that movie. Anyway, whatever. I have to
You're
accept
bitter.
that the world
I
existed
feel like
before
you're a
me.
little bit bitter. It's like when you date a new girl and you're like, well, I'm not the first one
Exactly.
to explore this territory.
I know.
But,
Like Kevin is used goods, everybody.
oh man, Tango and Cash. That was a good ass
What a
flick, though.
great movie.
What a fun one to watch.
I know.
Dude. What about
that one was always on my reservation.
Cliffhanger?
Cliffhanger is another classic. Passenger 57 is another one that I love.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes
The
at his
early
peak.
90s, like Last Boy Scout.
Eraser.
Yeah.
We did Last Boy Scout not too long ago. You guys check it out. That was a great one. Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah. What about Striking Distance? Do you watch that one? The Bruce Willis was like the river cop.
Yeah,
and-
Striking. Oh my God, with
It's a solid flick.
With what's her face from Sex and the City, right?
Yeah. Sarah Jessica Parker, Tom
yeah.
Sizemore, I think.
Yeah, that was great. I love that movie.
Yeah, that's a good one. We haven't done that one yet.
I think.
so.
Oh, okay, all right.
Striking
Ideas.
Distance.
Highly underrated. I mean, I remember
it was a good
loving that
detective.
movie.
It was a good detective story.
Great kind of neo-noir kind of thriller thing. Anyway, that's not the movie we're talking about.
Sorry, I already derailed us.
No, it's fine. I feel like I need to sum us up to get us started.
Yeah, where are we at? What's going on?
Two soldiers in Nam. One's a sergeant. One's a trooper. One is like worried about traitors. One just wants to get home. They murder each other, put on ice, part of a Code Zebra secret project where they're turned into universal soldiers. 25 years later, they thwart a terrorist attack at the Hoover Dam. Reporter Veronica, she shows up, covers it. She's fired immediately afterwards. The universal soldiers go back to the base. Fired Veronica and her cuck cameraman.
Did you say cuck?
I just say cuck.
He just wants to watch.
Yeah, he just wants to watch.
Other dudes
I'm convinced.
fucker?
Yeah, exactly.
Holy shit.
She's discovered snooping. They chase after her. Dolph kills cuck cameraman. This triggers JCVD, who breaks out of his spell. He grabs her. They flee. This sets off a chase with all the Universal soldiers trying to catch up with them. Action ensues at gas stations and at motels. Ultimately, Dolph breaks out of the spell as well. He goes full on crazy, basically kills everybody controlling him, and now it's just like a 1v1 thing. JCVD and Veronica go see a doctor, Dr. Gregor. He reveals all the deets about how this program works. In the process, reveals where JCVD actually grew up. They're headed back to Louisiana at this point. Yeah, she just wants to get home.
There was a crazy chase at the Grand Canyon.
Oh, that's right. The crazy.
But they got away.
Yeah, they got away, and now they're headed home.
Dolph Lundgren, last time we saw him, he was going over the edge. He was absolutely 100% in the cab of that truck when it went over the edge of the canyon.
Dead to rights. Big explosion. Yes, thank you for filling me in.
Unsurvivable.
No surviving that one. But here we are. We're back.
Yeah, we're in the final bit. We're in Moreau, Louisiana. It's day 5, apparently. I guess since the Hoover Dam.
They kept. This is a.
That was weird. They didn't really. That wasn't
up.
That wasn't consistent.
No, there was day 3 at one point, but then the day 3 was the first time
it
we saw the day.
It would take a couple days, I feel like, to drive from Utah to Louisiana.
The whole day X thing was like, I don't care how many days it's been. But anyway.
But they're in this stolen police cruiser, I guess. So they roll up on that house where Van Damme had seen earlier in his flashback, where his childhood home or some shit. He gets out, he looks around as the tender, sentimental music plays. There was just absolutely mountains in the background behind them.
Which is not Louisiana.
Those famous Louisiana mountains. No, apparently the whole set was built on a golf course in Arizona. It looked great.
It did a great job.
They built a whole ass facade of a home there or whatever. But so this older woman walks out to see who these unannounced guests are. Her mind is blown to see that it's her son, looking the same as he did, I guess, when he shipped off to Vietnam in 1969. So she speaks in French. She's saying this isn't possible. She hugs him. She calls for her husband to come out.
Who is motherfucking Rance Howard.
Ron
Howard's father.
I had no idea that guy was Ron Howard's dad, but he was so familiar.
Yeah.
He's been in a lot of Ron Howard movies.
Yes, he has.
Him and Clint Howard are regulars. But he looks like the American Pastoral, the dude in the farm. Never has anyone looked more like a farmer than this 100%.
That's why they
the guy with the pitchfork and the woman. That's him. I will say the acting from the mom was pretty good.
Yeah, Rance didn't really do much.
No.
He was mostly quiet the whole time.
It was kind of weird because he was completely mute and expressionless. It was odd.
But we'll find
it's interesting.
out why that is later.
There could be a reason for that.
Yeah.
So, but a short while later, they're in the house. Van Damme is looking at old family pictures on the mantle. Veronica's on the phone with her former employer, sort of saying that none of that shit on TV about me being framed for these various murders is true. Van Damme finds a picture of his Vietnam platoon and thunder's rolling in the background or whatever. But in the picture, it looked like Van Damme and Lundgren were best buddies. They were arms around each other.
Yeah. They were clearly friends. I mean, it actually provides context for why JC would run back.
Yeah,
in
context
the
that we
of the
didn't
movie.
Get.
Right, exactly. Now I understand. This is someone who mattered to him. He's going to see if he can save him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. So Veronica tells Van Damme that she needs to get going. She says that she's going to meet up with some reps from the news network at the sheriff's station. They're going to sort everything out. It's like, yeah, fucking good luck with that. By the federal people, like, they simply cannot let you remain alive.
No, this is not an option.
You have to die.
You have to die.
Yeah. So Van Damme's like, there's a lot that I can remember, but there's a lot that I can't remember. So I guess he's sort of coming out of this fog.
It's starting to come out of his fog, yeah.
So Veronica says, well, that's not surprising after 25 years. Van Damme is like, he laments that he's missed so much in the past 25 years. And she tells him, well, you look great for a 50-year-old.
Which that, like, paused me for a second.
Yeah.
For two reasons. Allie, like, Walker had the weirdest expression on her face as she was saying you look good for a 50-year-old. Like, it was weirdly contorted. I don't know what emotion she was trying to evoke in that. Like, were you lying? Are you being true? Is it like, I want to fuck a 50-year-old who looks like a 20-year-old? Like, but also, like, this is 92 and a Vietnam vet would only be in their 50s. And it just like, it was like, wow, like, amazing how
We're old now.
We are so fucking old. I know.
Well, like 92 was so much closer to Vietnam than it is to right now.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, so those two things paused me for a second.
More than 30 years since this movie came out. Yeah. That's fucking messed up, man.
Bonkers.
Anyway, because I used to play like some Battletoads and watch this flick.
Battletoads all the way.
And now I'm like an old man. I wake up, my back hurts.
I mean, I still play Battletoads, but yeah, my back hurts.
So Van Damme's parents are there. They offer Veronica coffee, but she's like, no, I better get going. So she asks Van Damme, are you going to be all right? And he's like, says, in time. Okay, sure. So then she remarks, I haven't smoked a cigarette in 2 days. Maybe I'll just quit. And she steps out into the pouring rain. I don't know. Is 2 days like a long time to go without smoking?
No.
Like, so that's a pipe
2 days,
dream?
That's a pipe dream. Like, 2 days is like, no, you're not stopping smoking. It's been 2 days. You're fine. Don't worry.
So then she runs out to her car. She gets in, but the key is not in the ignition where I guess she left it. Though also, why the fuck would you leave the key in the ignition?
Right.
When you're like being hunted?
I just don't. I don't
know.
That one jumped out at me too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, as someone who would never find a reason to leave. If I'm like, if I have to like, oh shit, I forgot to get the mail. And I only just have to reach out and take 2 steps, I still turn the car off and take my keys with me.
Yeah.
Like, that's how obsessive I am. So this was particularly bonkers to me.
But so Veronica, she gets out of the car, but suddenly Dolph Lundgren is like there inexplicably. Mm-hmm. How the fuck did he get here?
Not a clue.
This is hard to accept.
Yeah.
I don't know how he could find his way to this house.
No.
Even if he had survived, even if he had like gotten bailed out of the truck and survived all that. I don't know how he would have found his way here.
The only thing, I don't know. I literally have no explanation. Anyway.
But he's wearing an assortment of like ears on his necklace and all these police badges that he's wearing. And he's like, ask her, you looking for something? They never explain like really his bizarre fascination with like collecting badges and belt buckles and all that stuff.
In a previous life, he was a crow and he liked shiny objects.
Yeah, a magpie or something, whatever. He's also got like, he had this Padawan learner braid.
That's right. But
that he had in the beginning
too.
In the
beginning, yeah.
This one seemed like it had like almost like a rattlesnake tail attached to it. I'm like, what the fuck has this man been up to? But so back inside the house, the power goes out and there's like the sound of breaking glass. Mm-hmm. And Van Damme becomes suspicious. He goes off in search of his parents. In the kitchen, like there's a fire on the stove and there's broken dishes on the ground, like furniture's been flipped over and stuff. Which is weird because it's like he did all of this really quickly.
Really fast. Yeah.
Like, but meanwhile, we see that Lundgren has taken Veronica and Van Damme's parents and he's got them tied up in the barn. Now, Lundgren hollers at Van Damme that the farm is just like you described it back in Nam, which I think is their like half-assed way of explaining how he would have found this place.
Yeah, that's what I got to figure. Yeah.
I went to Louisiana. Well, I looked for that one farm.
So that actually, like, so what if he somehow found the doctor that they found, tortured him for information,
and
he also gave it up? That's the only thing I'm thinking.
It could be. Or the alternate ending would be that they like fed him the information.
Yeah, that's possible too. Yeah, which we'll get to though.
Yeah, okay.
We got to build a continuity against this version.
We're gonna keep with the theatrical version for right now.
Yeah.
So Lundgren tells him, why don't you come out here and join the family reunion? So Lundgren, he's not happy that it's taken Van Damme so long to come out of the house. He shoots this tractor, which explodes. Okay, sure.
Yeah, why not?
I guess that happens.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah, all the time.
Meanwhile, we see Van Damme is inside. He's arming himself with his double-barrel shotgun. So Van Damme walks out into the rain. Lundgren is holding Veronica as a human shield. He's like, wow, she has really beautiful ears. That was an amazing line for me.
Yeah, lots of good delivery. Yeah.
So Van Damme tells him, here I am. So let Veronica go. Then he just tosses his shotgun aside without even Lundgren telling him to do so.
Can I pause for a second?
Yeah.
JCD, he's got his pants pulled up so high again.
That's how he does it.
He loves those high pulled up pants.
All the way up.
Loves them. As high as he can get them.
Yes. It makes it easier to do those high kicks. So, but no, I thought it was weird that he tossed the gun aside without even being
no
asked.
prompting. Right.
Yeah. Then Lundgren tells him, I ordered you to kill this traitor. You got to fulfill your orders.
Mm-hmm.
They were really committed to Lundgren's use of racial slurs throughout, because he's doing all these Vietnamese slurs, and I'm like, this is a blonde-haired white woman, and he's still anyway.
Yeah.
So Van Damme tries to tell Lundgren, look, the war's been over for a long time. And Lundgren shoves Veronica away up against this car, and he's like, not for me, not for her, and not for you. Then Van Damme comes in and punches him, which really has no effect on Lundgren.
Well, because he's amped up on
the serum or whatever.
Serum, yeah.
He's just sort of laughs in Van Damme's face. Van Damme keeps punching him. Then Lundgren catches one of his fists out of the air and just devastates Van Damme with a series of punches and all that. So Lundgren flings him 30 feet through the air, and he crashes through the barn door. This is the new rule of 3 of him throwing him around.
That's right.
But it's a pretty rad effect. Every time it's pretty good.
No, I mean, the stuntman was definitely thrown into those doors.
Yeah. So Lundgren, he walks over, he starts taunting Van Damme, telling him, you can't run away from this war. And Van Damme's meter all of a sudden is indicating that he's overheating.
Perfect timing.
That seems to be much more of an issue for Van Damme than it is for Lundgren.
They mentioned it one time
It's odd. But as we've said, or tried to explain, maybe it's a different experience for every person who's gone through this.
That's really the best I can come up with.
Yeah. So Lundgren opens up his vest to show off these comically large syringes with the strength enhancer serum. He tells Van Damme, oh, you should have taken your medication. The syringes are fucking ridiculous.
They're so big, hysterically oversized.
It's crazy.
No, I don't know that there's anything in all of humanity that is injected into a human with syringes that large.
Yeah.
It's
an IV bag. It was if it's that much, it's going in an IV.
Those look like the syringes that you use to extract fluid from growths and shit. Not to put things in people.
But so now Veronica has picked herself up. She runs over to this huge unidentifiable piece of farming equipment.
Oh my God, this thing.
And starts rubbing, using the blades on this thing to cut her binds.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck this thing is supposed to be.
Unclear.
It's just a big machine with spikes on it.
I have
a wheel of spikes.
I feel like I'm almost a farmer now because I've watched all 4 seasons of Clarkson's Farm.
Okay.
Which if you haven't seen it, you need to watch it.
I've never even heard of it.
Jeremy Clarkson from Top Gear owns a farm and decided he's just going to run it.
Okay.
And I know more about farming now because of this show, which is one of my favorite shows of all time, by the way. This piece of machinery that's in this movie never shows up in Clarkson's Farm. So I don't know what the fuck this is. They built
this. This is a
clearly a prop.
Something that was made specifically as a bespoke prop for this movie.
It is truly a bespoke prop
we
for this movie.
need something that's got spikes on it that could grind a man up later on.
At some point.
But so Lundgren, meanwhile, he's injecting himself with an entire syringe of this shit in his chest. And he seemed to be fucking having orgasmic pleasure from the injection. So Van Damme uses this little momentary distraction to try to whack Lundgren with this big piece of timber. but Lundgren just like blocks the shit with his arm and the wood like shatters. And Lundgren grabs Van Damme and flings him again like 30 feet through the air into this puddle of mud.
Yeah.
The effect, which I assume was done with like wires and shit, it was like fucking, it worked really well though. It was good. So he tells Van Damme, get up and fight. But Van Damme is like fucking spent at this point. Lundgren picks him up, starts slamming him into this police car, like puts him through the window, is slamming him in the side of the car door. He's giving him like a lecture about chain of command. It's like that boot camp type shit where he's like, when I say jump, you say how high.
Yeah.
So Lundgren then drags Van Damme back over to where Veronica is. Like, she's still trying to cut her binds off on this machine. And he repeats, you've been given an order to kill this traitor. Lundgren pulls out the Desert Eagle pistol, puts it in Van Damme's hand, and is like debating, should we shoot her in the stomach? Should we shoot her in the chest? Or should we shoot her in the head? It's like a very memorable delivery.
Does love a good headshot.
Lundgren like forces Van Damme's hand to squeeze the trigger, but the gun's empty, and he's like, "It's empty.
It's
empty."
He is completely unhinged.
Oh, he's cranked it up to 1,000.
Completely unhinged
for this scene. I love it.
Yeah, it was great.
So Veronica at this point manages to cut her binds. She runs away as Lundgren like continues to beat on Van Damme. She stops. She looks back at Van Damme and Lundgren. Lundgren like pulls out a grenade and smiles at Van Damme, and we're like right back to the beginning of the movie, which is great like symmetry. Van Damme yells at Veronica to run, but just like in Vietnam, Lundgren is like fucking pinpoint accurate with this long grenade toss, man. So the explosion appears to have killed Veronica.
She's gone.
Lundgren celebrates with this like fist pump, and he's like, "Woohoo!" And like that shit makes me chuckle because it's like
God.
he's reveling in how evil he is.
Yeah.
Which is my favorite thing in a movie villain is like when they are aware of how evil they are.
And they're just like, "Fuck it, I'm in."
They're getting off on it.
Yeah.
So Van Damme though suddenly he's mad now, so he gets up. He's ready to fight. There's this nice shot of Van Damme. He stands up into the frame, and there's like the fire raging behind him or whatever. But Lundgren is surprised to see that Van Damme's running at him like full speed. So Van Damme hits Lundgren with a series of kicks, which doesn't really seem to hurt Lundgren at all. But it was some of the trademark, like the high flying Van Damme shit. So now Lundgren grabs him again, and he's like, "That's the spirit, soldier," and starts beating the shit out of him again. He throws him like across the yard again for the third time, rule of 3, into the barn, where his parents are like helplessly watching on. The third toss I felt like was like the best of the bunch.
Yeah.
But so Lundgren walks in with another lecture about how tragic it is. You got your folks mixed up in this thing, which is pretty good. He's like, you're up for a court martial for insubordination. And Van Damme dodges a punch. He manages to grab the extra syringe out of Lundgren's vest, but he gets knocked across the room or whatever, and he drops the syringe. So Lundgren stalks over, picks Van Damme up, but Van Damme grabs the syringe, injects it into himself. Lundgren says, you've all been sentenced to death. And he tells Van Damme, "Say goodnight, asshole." And then Van Damme catches Lundgren's punch and is like, "Good night, asshole," which is like the most telegraphed setup and like payoff ever, but it still kind of worked.
It worked, man.
It kind of worked.
Give it in this movie, in this genre, in this milieu, it absolutely works.
So Van Damme then starts wailing on Lundgren for a while, and Lundgren's able to sort of get his hands on the ubiquitous metal rod.
The best part about this metal rod is it wasn't anywhere intelligible. It was a ventilation fan, and it was in front of a ventilation fan, and he just reaches up and grabs it.
There's always plenty of like loose weapons lying around. It's like a fucking like Streets of Rage video game or some shit.
Up.
The ventilation fans also, I gotta say, were so stupid.
Oh my God.
Like they're there because visually they're interesting.
Yeah.
But why would there be ventilation fans in this barn?
Well, I mean, that low. Like a barn of that size, you would have ventilation fans that high up for the summer so you could push the hot air out of it. But you would never keep ventilation fans that low because the hot air rises. You need to get the hot air at the top of the barn.
It was all like
it was just like it made no sense whatsoever.
But so Lundgren then seems to get the upper hand on Van Damme, until Van Damme knocks the metal rod out of his hands, and then the two of them, they're like wrestling around. And I will say it's like pretty great to watch these two like action stars who are like in their prime go at it.
Yeah.
Is like, you don't like, there's never a movie where like peak Stallone was fighting peak Schwarzenegger.
That would have been amazing.
You know what I mean? Like we want that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they trade punches a little bit, but eventually Van Damme takes control. So Van Damme hits him with like 12 consecutive punches to the face, and then unleashes this like flying drop kick that sends him like through the wall of the barn back out into the rain. So Van Damme then comes out to face him in the rain, and Lundgren says, "You're dead, soldier." And Van Damme's like, "No, I'm alive."
Paying off something that we established earlier in the movie.
I think that was like the resolution of the question of if these guys are alive or dead, is that he's determined, no, I'm alive. Okay, sure. So Van Damme kicks him with a bunch of the patented JCVD kicks.
Gotta have him.
We got the high kick, like we got the spinning heel kick.
Yeah.
And he sends Lundgren flying backwards, and he's impaled on that, like, the spiky farm machine thing.
And I love that he's almost crucified. Like, they make a point of showing that
through
his hand is impaled,
which
too.
would never happen.
No.
Like, but this is like the impaling machine, I guess, right? I can't see anything else that this thing would be used for in the real world.
You really only use the impaling machine when you're trying to grow kale.
Oh, my God. No, it's like a wood chipper, but if a wood chipper had a big spiky thing also.
Right.
Which is not a thing. But
no.
Yeah, anyway. Lundgren screams out in pain and then appears to go limp and die. And Van Damme lets his guard down. He comes in for a closer look, proving that he's a colossal idiot.
Yeah, of course.
Like sometimes on the podcast, I like to say, these characters never seen a movie before, but like
this
guy, in this instance, this particular character, he's maybe never seen a movie before, or at least not since the 60s.
Doesn't remember them. Yeah.
But of course, Lundgren's like springs to life again. He grabs Van Damme like behind his neck and is pulling his face towards one of the spikes, Van Damme pulls free though, and he snaps Lundgren's arm, which was fucking gruesome.
It was like, ugh, it was brutal. It was good.
Dude.
Yeah.
And then Van Damme is like, "You're discharged, Sarge."
Which is such a weird, it was like a
rhymey sort of.
Yeah.
So, but he cranks that machine up, which like shreds Lundgren.
Yeah. I mean, literally bits are coming out of
chunks of flesh are flying out of this.
Could be a Saw movie. I mean, it's like really graphic.
But Van Damme's like watching with a certain amount of pleasure, it seems.
I feel like at this point I would be watching with pleasure too, so I gave him a pass on this one.
So Van Damme then he frees his parents, and he goes to look for Veronica. There was like bad continuity going on with how hard it was raining, but I think it was because a lot of it was reshoots.
Yeah.
So Van Damme finds her completely intact.
Mm-hmm. Nothing. No harm.
Laying motionless. He grabs her by the hand and she wakes up. She's just fine, which I feel like she might be a cyborg.
At this point?
Yeah, for all the
shit she's gone through? Yeah.
She's like got no injuries.
She might actually be one of the Universal Soldiers. That might be one of the big twists of the movie.
So she looks around for Lundgren. She's like, "Where is he?" And Van Damme says, "Around." Okay. And then she's like, "How do you feel?" And he says, "I feel like a 50-year-old."
That's a good line. Come on.
It was pretty good. Although, as someone who's like solidly into my 40s now, I feel like that's a little close to home.
Yeah, I know. It hurts a little bit too much.
50's not so old.
Yeah, it's not that
bad. So then they share like a very chaste hug.
Yeah.
And the music swells and it's fade to black and the credits roll. And there's like this rap rock song.
What was the lyrics? The whole lyrics was body count. Body count.
Body count is in the house.
Body count is in the house. Like that's the whole song.
Body count was like this weird collaboration with Ice-T and a rap rock sort of thing.
Really?
And somebody named Ernie C. I don't know who Ernie C is.
Okay.
But before we get like on into talking about some other shit.
I
will say it was a solid little flick.
Yeah. As theatrically, the theatrical version which we just watched.
I feel like it was derivative of other movies, but it did a good job also of like being its own thing.
Mm-hmm,
you know?
I mean, it stands out. I mean, it draws from other things. It kind of actually inspired a few things, honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it stands out. I mean, it's like you can watch bits of Universal Soldier and go, oh, this is Universal Soldier, right? Like it's not generic. It is. It has its own vision, its own voice.
I feel like you can also watch it and see that like Roland Emmerich and Dean Devlin are like destined for bigger and better things.
They're onto something. Yeah.
Because they're like, this was an effective, cheap ass movie.
Yeah.
So they probably gave him double the budget and they went and made Stargate.
Yeah.
And then they doubled the budget again and they gave him Independence Day.
And at that point, it was like, oh, well, you guys can't.
These guys are fucking great.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. They're like the next big, like they're Spielberg and Lucas.
And then
whatever,
he does Godzilla and it's like, fuck.
Yeah. No. Now, though, before we get to the trivia and anything else like that, we got to talk about the original ending, man.
The original fucking ending. So the movie fades to black.
Which you can watch on YouTube. You should definitely do that.
The movie continues for a good 5 minutes longer originally.
Yeah. I think of it as like the Philip K. Dick ending.
That's fair.
Like the one where they took it in a really weird dark twist in the end. Like something you'd get in fucking Blade Runner or Total Recall or something like that.
Yeah.
So it would have included that Lundgren's character brutally kills Van Damme's mother.
Yeah, that's right.
And then after Van Damme has dispatched Lundgren in the shredder or whatever, the dad comes walking out and he shoots Van Damme in the chest with a shotgun.
Which I laughed hysterically at because it's his Rance Howard.
Yeah.
Who is famously like always plays these kindly farmer characters. And he is just completely flat, like no expression on his face.
It was weird.
Shooting down JCVD with a shotgun out of nowhere.
It comes out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
And I could almost buy it if he was like, you know, you're not my son anymore.
Yeah.
Then I was like, oh, okay. I can see where he's like, you know, I don't know what you are, but you're not my son.
Right.
Because my son has been gone for 25 years.
Yeah.
And you haven't aged a day, so I don't know what's going on, but you're not like, right. But in this alternate ending, though, out of nowhere, like the federal people are there, led by Dr. Gregor. Like, where did they come from? The cars were just there.
And their headlights turn on. I mean, it's like, I'm sorry, how did these people get here? What the fuck is going on?
They were just like sitting there this whole time?
Yeah.
So Gregor is like, sorry, bud. We had to use you as bait to lure Lundgren here so we could, you know, dispose of you both together to complete our cover up.
Right.
Essentially. Then it's revealed, you know, your ma and pa are not really your parents. They're like agents.
Yeah.
They're posing as your parents, but they're really here. You know, your real parents believe you're dead in Vietnam and it should stay that way. And then, I don't know, it might explain why the dad's performance like seemed indifferent to his son returning after all this time.
That's the only thing I can figure. Yeah, exactly.
Earlier in the flick, but I don't know why though they were sitting around like helplessly just watching the two of them fight each other.
I have no idea. Yeah.
But then this is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
The fake dad then racks the shotgun again and shoots Van Damme again.
Yep.
And fucking Gregor is like, don't make this harder on yourself. It's like, they haven't asked him to do anything.
No, he's literally just standing there.
He's just standing there shooting him. Don't make it harder on yourself.
No, I know.
Make it, I don't know what he wants him to do.
What do you want me to kill myself? Like,
I feel like he would have been willing to do it almost.
I know. I mean,
because he was sort of like, it doesn't, I don't know. But then a squad of like trench coat wearing government goons pop out and start shooting Van Damme with machine guns, right? It was almost exactly like the Willem Dafoe death scene in Platoon.
Yeah.
Down to the point of him like throwing his arms up in the air as he goes down to the ground or whatever. And it's like there's a fine line between homage and plagiarism, and I feel like this was like went beyond homage.
It was literally the same shot.
Just literally the same shot.
Yeah.
And so Van Damme's little wrist monitor would indicate that he's flatlined and he's dead.
Right.
And Veronica is fucking distraught.
I mean, and she, for her part, Ali Walker gives a really good performance. She looks fucking devastated. Yeah.
But then suddenly there's sirens and Woodward is there.
Right.
Spraying Van Damme down with like the coolant spray.
Yep.
So I guess that scene earlier where Woodward died with the grenade explosion in the truck was just something that they had to shoot to explain what it is that happened to Woodward.
Disappeared from the movie.
Because otherwise, I guess it was just going to be that he escaped, he ran away or something.
I imagine there's a bunch of scenes because this ending that you can see on YouTube was finished. Like, this wasn't rough. This wasn't like dailies.
Yeah. I thought they showed it to test audiences, and test audiences were like, hell no.
What the fuck? Yeah, exactly. They probably showed it. People were like, this movie was great up until the last 2 minutes.
Why'd you give it the weird, you had to put a twist on it.
What the fuck? And so I bet they went back, cut out a bunch of scenes that justified this ending, right? Which would explain some of the more non sequitur aspects of the movie.
Yeah.
And then had to
shoot some stuff.
Yeah, to make it work. Yeah.
The scene where it's like, well, we gotta write Woodward out somehow.
Right, exactly.
What if he died in a grenade explosion, but Ralph Muller's completely undamaged?
I can't believe that is what they came up with.
Yeah.
They literally...
Because they could have had him just try to run away and he get shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Or something.
Yeah, absolutely. If there could have been any way of handling it, I don't know why that was the choice they went with.
But so then cops appear from everywhere. Yeah. They arrest all the federal people, including Dr. Gregor, they all surrender peacefully, even though they've got them outgunned.
Clearly outgunned.
And yeah, so then Veronica's news crew is also there somehow. And they're like telling her, okay, you got to go live on TV right now.
Yeah. She's drenched, covered in mud.
Yeah, she's got fired earlier.
Yeah, and she's also doesn't work for them.
She looks like a drowned rat. And she's like in the middle of a nervous breakdown. But they toss her a microphone and she like tries to deliver the news.
And then fails.
She's like literally standing over Van Damme's lifeless body. But she loses it. She drops down to the ground. She's like hugging Van Damme as Woodward is trying to revive him. And the news crew is like filming it all.
Yeah.
Fade to this epilogue where with like some Sarah Connor, like Terminator type narration.
Weird shit, man.
From Veronica. She's like saying basically they managed to patch Van Damme up. He was reunited with his real parents who were being held captive by like the federal people.
Always the federal people.
So he returned to live with his parents and experience the brief and tender moments of humanity that make life worth living. So he lived for like another 2 months with his parents before he died.
That's what, yeah.
Because he refused any type of medical treatments.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to extend his life. He was choosing instead to, quote, live until the moment that he died. Which is okay.
Okay.
Sure. So all while they're saying this, Van Damme and Veronica are shown like they're walking along like in silhouette.
And he's got this weird fucking hat on.
Yeah, he's got this ridiculous fedora. They kiss each other.
Yeah, which, again,
okay.
I still don't understand.
I don't know if it was supposed to be romantic or not romantic.
It was just on that borderline where it's like, I have seen friends that close kiss like that. It might not be romantic.
So then she says, if it's true that the path that we take in life defines us, then Luke Devereaux must be remembered for his gentleness and unyielding compassion. I'm grateful for the time that I was able to spend with him. The value that he placed on life taught me to appreciate my own. Luke Devereaux was truly an extraordinary human being. He will be missed. Fade out.
And that was the original ending of the movie.
None of that made sense, especially with like the fact that he played it as like sort of a blank, like a guy who was completely under amnesia.
A complete blank slate.
Like, I never saw any type of value for human life or like gentleness and all this shit that she's talking about. So I have no fucking clue. I've never seen an alternate ending that was this dramatically different from what we got. No. This like changed everything.
Yeah.
Usually it's like a slightly different dialogue at the end or something like that, or like different camera shots. They used a different take.
Yeah.
And it's the alternate ending. But it doesn't change anything.
The only ending that I can think of that was pretty significantly different off the top of my head was Terminator 2, right? Like the theatrical ending was the road at night, right? And Sarah Connor giving that monologue.
Yeah.
Whereas the original ending was her on a playground, the same playground where the nuclear bomb blows up, with John Connor as an adult and his kids.
Oh,
So
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Oh, you got to check that out. That was the original ending
I
of the
feel like
movie.
it's got to be on all my DVDs.
Oh yeah,
and shit
no,
that I
I'm
have.
certain. I'm sure it's on
Okay.
YouTube as well. But yeah, that was the original ending.
Fuck.
Was a very definitive.
So they had averted
the
the
war is
war.
over. But the one that they went with was much more ambiguous.
There's no fate.
That there is no fate. Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
okay.
But what you make, yeah. And so yeah, that's the only other movie I can think of off the top of my head that had such a drastically alternate ending
Yeah.
when it went to
This is like a
theaters.
total different message of the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
It was so fucking weird.
I know. It was out of nowhere.
There was like a number of reasons why it didn't work
I think-
for me.
Well, yeah, I mean,
It was
like,
so rushed.
It was. It felt like it was like, oh shit, we got to bring this up.
Someone was like, "We want to blow people's mind with a big twist at the end, but we also have to wrap up the whole thing in 2 minutes."
In 2 minutes, right? 100% agree with you. I do wonder if at some level, because I've got to believe there were a lot of scenes that hit the cutting room floor when they decided to change the ending,
Mhm.
because it's setting up it's probably was setting up this ending that they were no longer going with.
Yeah,
And so
I agree.
us watching the theatrical version out of context with the original ending is probably creating a lot of incongruity
like
that
tons of plot holes.
yeah, exactly. And if we had seen the original, because the theatrical version was a tight flick, right? I would imagine that there's probably about 20 extra minutes of footage.
I picture that the draft was probably like a 2 hour and 15-minute version of this
that's
movie.
what I'm thinking.
a
right?
more epic sort of thing.
Yeah, but I submit that even if we watch the original version with everything still in there, this ending would still feel incredibly rushed and out of nowhere.
Yeah, there needed to be a lot more groundwork laid if they were
Oh,
going to have
yeah.
this ending
Yeah.
and have it feel earned.
Yeah.
But I also so the stuff I read about the original script, like
Mhm.
as it was written, was like much darker apparently.
Interesting.
Yeah, I had seen where in the script as written, the Perry character, Colonel Perry, was like ordering that all the witnesses be killed as they went along.
Okay, that makes
You know,
sense.
which would have made
That made
sense.
sense.
Also, that the terror attack on the Hoover Dam at the beginning of the movie was like a false flag operation.
Oh.
That it was like the army had hired mercenaries to stage an attack so that the Unisols could save the day
Yeah.
to justify the existence and the
That
and the
actually
money.
makes a lot
then
of sense.
it's like, well, maybe it makes sense that they really were wearing squibs
Yeah.
and they weren't really killing anybody,
Yeah.
you know, or they hired these poor mercenaries like
To
to then also be killed
Right.
without their knowledge, one would assume. But then apparently the speculation was that they changed all this up because the Gulf War started.
Oh.
And they were like, you know what? It's not a good look right now at this time for us to make the military the bad guys.
Oh, interesting.
Because there's a war on?
Yeah.
So sentiments had changed.
wow.
So
I
they-
believe that though. They do
No,
that all the time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So that was apparently the original concept was that it would have been a darker thing with the military
Interesting.
being like much more patently evil instead
Yeah.
of just Lundgren's evil, but everyone else is sort of maybe neutral-ish.
Right. And Perry's evil, but Dolph kills him, so who cares?
Yeah, but it was definitely much more of like a vast government and military conspiracy sort of thing.
Wow.
I'd be curious because I like my sci-fi dark like that, but if I saw the original ending, if that was the ending that was on this movie, I'd be like, they just managed to ruin a movie. Dude, there's so recently I watched, I'm a big I love Robin Hood Prince of Thieves.
Okay.
That was like one of the first sort of grown-up movies that I ever saw in the theater. And there's like a director's cut version, an alternate version with all these added storylines that is so bad.
Oh my god.
I've never seen like a director's cut that really took a good movie and turned it into a shitty movie. But I feel like this ending would have taken a good action movie and turned it into a shitty movie. I feel like the ending of this would have ruined it.
Yeah,
Been
absolutely.
like, holy, this is terrible.
Yeah, the original ending that we found on YouTube would have ruined this movie. I mean, they made the right choice. Like,
I don't know if it was test audiences convinced them or if they saw the writing on the wall on their own.
right, exactly. Like, it strikes me that it's possible that they got into editing and they got to the end of it and they're watching it in like one of those test theaters And they get to the end and they're like, oh shit.
This ruins everything. This ruins the movie.
Yeah.
We got to fix this.
Interestingly,
That's why I think they did reshoots, probably just not on the golf course near Arizona.
Yeah.
They probably just did it on a lot somewhere in Hollywood.
In LA, yeah.
And that's why it goes from pouring rain to it's not raining at all, but they're in the mud, to like it's pouring rain again to it's not raining at all anymore. Yeah.
Although, I mean, given Atlanta's weather recently,
that's true. It happens. It happens.
That was a crazy, because I had no idea, and then you said, "Hey, have you seen the alternate ending?" And I'm like, "There's an alternate ending," and you're like, "You should go watch it." And so I watched it.
It changes
today,
everything,
and it changes literally everything about the movie.
Yeah,
like, and it's on YouTube. So anybody who's made it this far with us,
this is easy.
After you're done
Universal
listening
Soldier,
to us,
alternate ending.
Really, it's unfucking believable.
It's wild shit.
Yeah.
I'm glad they saw the light and didn't go that route.
Same.
You know?
Yeah.
Because, they ended up making a fucking killer movie. It was a big success.
Yep.
It cost only $23 million to make, apparently. Made over $100 million worldwide. Spawned a shit ton of sequels.
5 sequels.
Some of them were like, I think, straight to Sci-Fi Channel or something like that. But
2 of them made it to theaters.
It's not surprising because it's such a fucking good premise.
Yeah. It's fun.
There's so many directions you could go with the concept.
Now, I have never seen anything other than the first one.
So Kyle, who's come on the podcast a few times, he swears that the most recent one, which is called Universal Soldier Day of Reckoning, he said that it's one of the strangest and best action movies he's ever seen.
Really?
He said it's fucking amazing.
Oh, shit. Maybe I need to go down this rabbit hole.
I got to find a way to watch that.
Yeah.
thing.
I mean, so the Universal Soldier The Return and Universal Soldier The Day of Reckoning, I believe, they actually both came out in theaters.
Return, definitely. That was the one with Michael J. White, I think, and no Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
And then there was one called Resurgence or Regeneration.
Regeneration, yeah.
That was, I think, the one that they had Dolph Lundgren back in. The first one.
Okay.
Those two are sort of like, they were both done by the same director, a guy named John Hyams, I think, whose dad is another dude named Hyams who's directed like some movies that we've done on the podcast before.
Oh, wow.
His dad was like an action movie director.
Okay.
But yeah, my guy Kyle, he swears by Day of Reckoning, so I've got to see it.
Yeah, I need to watch them. I need to watch these movies.
Yeah. So that's Universal Soldier. Apparently there's like a TV series in the works.
Really?
I don't know. I mean, it's such a good premise.
No, it's good. Does Dolph or JCVD?
I don't think I would doubt that either one of them is attached.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of over the hill at this point in time. Did you see where? So I don't think the movie didn't premiere at Cannes, but the actors were at Cannes to sort of just like walk the red carpet and promote the movie.
Read this.
And like staged a sort of a fight with each other, a skirmish.
Yeah.
Like pushing and shoving just to sort of generate some publicity for the flick, which apparently did work.
It worked. It worked. Yeah.
That's a wild story.
And it was, I mean, I want it to be true, but what I read was it got so bad that the Cannes security actually showed up and escorted them off the premises. And I don't know.
Well, there is some video. I saw a little bit of the beginning, but I didn't watch the whole thing.
Okay.
So maybe it does get to the point that security does intervene. But yeah, why not?
I mean, shit, why not? Exactly.
Some heat, yeah.
I mean, no press is bad press, right? Something
That's
like
what they
that.
say.
Yeah.
Like Puff Daddy or Epstein might make the difference.
But I mean, generally speaking.
Yeah, no. But no, the movie did well. I did a little bit of research on 1992.
Yeah.
Aladdin was like the top movie of the year.
Okay.
That did like fucking killer business. Home Alone Part 2 was the second best. It was like it was a big year for sequels because it was Home Alone 2, Batman Returns, Lethal Weapon 3.
Wow.
All made a killing. A Few Good Men was out that year.
That's
I love that
movie.
flick. Yeah. Sister Act, Bodyguard. There's like a lot of Wayne's World. Did a killer.
Wayne's World, fucking classic.
Yeah, Basic Instinct, Unforgiven, which is like a clap.
92 was a fucking unbelievable year.
As for action movies, there was Under Siege.
Yeah.
Patriot Games. I like Patriot Games a lot. Last of the Mohicans was out that year.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie would have been like globally, I think, a top 20 movie of the year for box office.
Wow.
So, good for them, man.
Yeah, no, and given the budget, I guarantee you all those other movies you referenced were a hell of a lot more.
Oh yeah,
money than this one was.
Had to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did this one like to do something that's sci-fi and this epic on the cheap is hard to do. They I feel like they had a good premise and they executed it well, and you know.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it was a fun watch. It's a like we were talking about this in one of the earlier episodes. A lot of times I'll go back and watch these old movies and I'm like, wow, what the fuck is this?
Or it's really aged poorly.
It's really aged poorly. But this one, I was like, no, this stands out. It's kind of timeless in a lot of ways.
It's good, yeah.
Minus the rotary
The look of the
phones
soldiers is still pretty great.
Yeah, they're totally believable. The accordion sci-fi truck is still fucking cool.
It's still cool to look at.
Yeah, exactly. It's two of the best performances from both JCVD and Dolph Lundgren.
Two big action stars at the peak of their powers.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, it was a win.
If you don't know Universal Soldier and you've listened this whole way,
you're
a fucking psychopath.
Go back and watch. Yeah.
But also, you should definitely go watch the movie. It's one of the good ones.
Yeah. It was a good time.
You picture this with like a 6-pack and a pizza.
Oh fuck yeah! Get a buddy, come over.
It's gonna be killer.
It's gonna be
man.
a good night. It's gonna be a good fucking night.
Oh
well, I think that wraps us up.
Yeah, man. I'm glad we did it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll be back again sometime soon.
We will be back. We're
something else. There's still awesome 80s, 90s movies we haven't
amazing
touched.
movies out there.
Yeah,
we referenced a couple of them here. So
yeah. I feel
maybe
like
we'll do Kindergarten Cop 2 with Dolph Lundgren.
Oh my god! Or one of the Universal Soldier sequels.
Or one of the Universal Soldier sequels.
Yeah, the possibilities are endless.
There's so many options.
But until then, dear listeners,
we'll be back.
Body terror. Body terror. In the house. Body counts in the house.